My Bebops, has this ever happened to you?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost. Won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? I'm gonna make him give back our past.
Well, not anymore. You know why? Because this Key Blast canceling guide will not only show you what the hell is Key Blast canceling, it'll show you exactly how to do it, how to perfect it, how to counter it, and how to adjust your playstyle a bit better. Just so now, if you're probably in the ranks of 9,000, how to increase that rank to top 1,000. This Key Blast canceling guide is very essential right now in the Dragon Ball Legends community. Everyone is adapting to the playstyle, everyone is doing it. Yes, there will be sidestep nerfs, but this Key Blast canceling guide will show you exactly what these players are doing that you're not aware of. So if you want to play a little better, I suggest you stick to this guide right here, guys. So to be better safe than sorry, we're gonna first go to our main menu here. We're gonna actually hit menu. We're going to hit other, hit options, and make sure our graphics are great. So as you see here, our graphics settings are set to high resolution. Our energy saving settings, which is the most important one, should be off. For those who are new or for those who aren't new, that's fine, you can skip this. So I just want to be cautious about the fact that this is a very important matter. If your energy saving settings are off, that's great. You probably notice a difference in your gameplay. If they're on and for some reason they're not off, you probably notice a little more lag and a little decrease of your frames per second. Having these settings off will indeed increase the frames per second in your overall play, in your gameplay. You'll see more how smooth the game really is. This can help especially for key canceling, dodging, just general attacks from your opponents. You'll notice more of a smoother gameplay, and that's what you want to execute things the right way. Just be wary of the fact that having these settings off will decrease your battery time for whatever device you're using, whether it's a phone or a tablet. Whatever it is, just be wary of that. But if you don't mind that, if you want to rock it out in game, this is the best way to go. So key canceling. Key canceling is another way to avoid a lot of attacks from your opponent. It is after you use a key blast card, the player swipes upwards on their screen to create a forward dash animation to basically cancel the previous animation of the key blast card that they were using. So for example, in this clip you'll see that after I use my key blast card, I'm swiping upwards on my screen and I'm canceling out of that animation to create that forward dash. This enables me to either vanish or use a strike card art. So you know what key canceling looks like and you know how to do it. Great, what's your next move? Your next move is to use a strike card. Why? Because it is the fastest weapon to use in your inventory right now. It is your next step because you have the advantage. Your opponent just vanished. He's in your face. So why are you just going to stand there and do nothing? I've seen many players, countless players in the past that I've played have either one, stood there and had no idea what to do, or two, they would panic swipe and that opponent that just dodged those key blasts, now they have the advantage because they're going to time your panic swipe and they're just going to punch you and show you no mercy. That is not the safest bet to do, guys. It's all about adaptability, but your first move should be your strike card. It is your fastest weapon in your inventory. You should use it to your advantage. So in order to do that, your swipe, use your key blast cancel technique that you just learned, and immediately after, just click on your strike card, and you're gonna see the animation take into place. It is very simple, very useful, guys. So the next little tip is obviously the most obvious and the easiest by far. It's very similar to just basically key canceling into a strike card. It's basically now you're key canceling into your rising rush. Very simple, very self-explanatory. If you already know how to key cancel and you know how to bait your opponent pretty well and he falls for it all the time, or if he's actually faster than you and he can adapt to you, which I'm going to show you a little later, just basically use your rising rush. So key cancel here, select your rising rush, try to dominate your opponent by using this technique. Very simple, very fast. Now we're gonna dive into things that are a little bit trickier, a little difficult, alright? So this is more if now the earlier clips that you watched on how to key cancel were helping you, now you're gonna want to learn more in depth. So guys, I don't mean to brag, but this got me to the #1 spot in the ranks. And it made me grind out last season as well to be #2. Of course, yeah, it's all about grinding, but a lot of skill comes into play. So, what if you're in a game one day and you see these pesky little times where you're key canceling and but suddenly for some reason your opponent is much faster, right? You've been there. You key cancel and then all of a sudden you want to use your strike card, but you guys clash either at the same time or for some reason there's that little quote unquote lag that's going on and all of a sudden he's the one in control right now. He's the one dominating you. He landed the strike card first. Why? Well, sometimes it is like that. That's the unfortunate truth. Sometimes there are going to be games where, yeah, unfortunately lag comes into place. There's going to be some slight delays in your strike cards. For some reason, that's unknown. But how do I counter that? Well, you came to the right place. I'll show you. So, you know that your opponent is hella fast, so what do I do? So after key blast canceling, what you can do is see right here, I'm punching my opponent in the face. I just tapped them. And you know what I can do next? I can immediately jump and follow up with my strike card. Whatever technique I have in my inventory, I'm going to use it. Why? Because I still have the advantage. I'm the one in control. He's not the one in control. He wants to make you believe that you are the one that is not in control, but truly you are, unless he swaps in a different character. That is a different story, and that is something I'm also going to tell you. I'm going to tell you everything, all the tips, all the secrets the elites don't want you to know. Yes, I'm going to tell you all of that. Why? Because this community needs to come together and we all need more competition, right? Okay, great. So yes, out of two things can happen while you're doing this. You can definitely vanish, or you can tap the screen, or if you can get really lucky and land a strike card, whatever it is. But that is another technique that you can use, okay? Please keep that in mind. Alright, so I got my guy to basically dodge my key blast and I'm key canceling, but he keeps punching me in the face. And then after I tried to strike card him because I'm the one in control, like you said, right, Bebop? That's what you told me. But then all of a sudden he swapped in another character and now he's fighting me and now I'm losing. What's going on? Well, he knows how to counter. He knows how to play the game as well, right? But here is another countermeasure to that, right? I have all the tips and the tricks that you can all use to your advantage. So whatever it is, whether you are a beginner, whether you are an intermediate player, whether you just are an expert low-key hiding in the shadows and you just want to laugh at my videos and just know that I'm a peasant and I suck and don't know what I'm talking about. This is for you too. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what level of skill you are in. This guide will help you through thick and thin. I promise you. So I'm gonna tell you. This guy, after I key blast canceled, he tap punched me in order for me to not use my strike card. That is a counter for users who use the key blast canceling technique. I'm also going to show you right after how to counter that. How do I counter that? But the smarter decision, if the roles were reversed, he is doing a great job in countering my counter. There's a lot of counters to counters, guys. There's a lot. But essentially what he did was after I key canceled, he tap punched me, so I had no time to react. Now I immediately panic and I use a strike card, but he swapped in a different character and he dodged. Now I'm the one who's not in control. And he can use that to his advantage and still mess me up pretty bad if I don't time things pretty well. So, what's my next step? What do I do? How do I prevent all this? You're in the right place, my friend. Trust me. So, like I said many times before, this game is about adaptability. So once you're in a game and you know more or less now your opponent's habits, and if one of those habits tend to be one of these annoying little things that he's just punching you in the face like, haha, yeah, you thought you were going to key cancel strike card, well, too bad. But he keeps punching you and you're now getting triggered. Don't get triggered. This is what you can do. So, as you can see here, I'm baiting him into my key cancel. Now he's in my face and I'm backing away. And now what that does is he has no time to react. One, because he's still stuck in that animation, but more importantly, he doesn't have a vanish, right? And he can't swap when he's in that animation. So I now know that I can back up and watch him fail and take advantage and punish him. And this only works if and only if your opponent, you know for a fact your opponent is just gonna tap punch you for every time you key cancel. Don't just do this out of just your first try. Don't do this on your first try. This is a warning. Why? Because when you back up and he actually uses a strike card, you're gonna get messed up pretty bad because you're not gonna be able to dodge in time. You don't want that. Only do this if he's actually tap punching you out of habit. So just keep that in mind. But that is just a little tip that you can do. Alright, Bebop, but alright, this makes sense and all, but what if I'm the one that's being baited? I'm not the one that doesn't always have the key blast cards on me. What if they're the ones doing it? What do I do? Great question, fella. So, if you're the one that's falling for the bait, or at least, dodging as you should, these tips and tricks that you just learned already from the previous clips that I showed you, you can also apply them as well. You can tap punch them. You can wait until they panic swipe and punch them like I'm showing you right here. Or I'm going to show you more advanced techniques, but you can also swap in just in case they have something very, very sneaky up their sleeve, and you probably already are guessing what I'm talking about. And this is a very advanced technique, very hard to do. You got to time it correctly, but like I said, practice makes perfect. So play with your friends first, adapt to it. It's all about adaptability, and then take this into PvP and watch you just grind it out and just win a lot of games because of this.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
Indeed, Nani is correct. Why? Well, you played yourself, fool. I'm just kidding. But seriously though. So, like I was mentioning earlier, how to counter key cancels, that is one hell of a method right there. Why? Because that not only makes more sense because you're technically refreshing your vanishing gauge by swapping in another character, but that opponent can also be baiting you. We've all been seeing so far things from my perspective, how I'm doing it, but you gotta also take into consideration, obviously your opponent is gonna see this and they probably already know how to do this, but little do they know you know how to counter, right? So this is one way to counter that. How to counter their key canceling. Swapping is so essential. Oh my god. It is the most essential thing you can do in the game. Why? It just refreshes everything. It's like, alright, I made a mistake. Let me swap in and fix that mistake. There you go. This guy had his had his rising rush, and I swapped in immediately and was able to dodge that as well. And that threw the game. Well, at least turned the table in my favor. Because if I lost my Goten there, or my Gohan, that would have been really, really messed up, and I probably would have lost. But obviously, this is just a friendly game, and like that I'm playing right now just to show you the tips and tricks, but nonetheless you get the point. The point is you can do little things like this if you know for a fact, or you just have a feeling, alright, like it's been a minute and some change into the game is getting really intense, and he hasn't used his rising rush yet. He's definitely going to try to bait me at one point, and if he just keeps doing this for some reason, bro, you're gonna get rising rush, dude. Like, just Just trust me on this. You're gonna get Rising Rush. So what I did here was I vanished, and immediately after you vanish, guys, you click on a character, you select them really fast, and obviously you still have that small window of delay when somebody is using a Rising Rush. Obviously, the camera focuses on them, and the huge letters Rising Rush, takes into place for like that 1 second. Just make sure you dodge. That's all you gotta do, guys. That's just dodge. Just dodge. Yes, famous words from Piccolo himself. But seriously, just dodge it, and that's gonna be huge for you. That's so essential. Now the ball is in your court, and you can dominate your opponent like this many times. No, you don't know how many times I've done this, and it's saved my butt from so many situations, so many losses that have been prevented from doing this. This is like gold right here. Like, this is so cool to do too, because it looks so cool. Like, come on. But not only that, it's just the turning point of the game. This is your clutch. This is the clutch key to winning your games. Alright, and lastly, to follow up with the finishing touch, I'm going to compile some clips here that are going to be repeated of the don'ts of key canceling. So basically, things that are possible, but I don't recommend. Why? Well, here's why. For example, key blast canceling doesn't always work mid-range. It is possible. I never said it's impossible. It is possible, but it takes a long time. Well, not a long time, but it takes a while for you to actually master it and get it down pat. You need a lot of time and management to actually perfect it, especially mid-range. It always works best long range because you have more time to react. But if you're new and you're just starting to learn about it, don't do it mid-range. I recommend doing it from a long distance just so you can get better at it. Along the lines, when you start to perfect it, you want to, pique your curiosity, then go ahead, by all means, try mid-range, and see what you can do. It's not impossible. It's just harder, in my opinion. Another thing is the panic swiping. If you're the one that's key canceling after your opponent has dodged, there is no reason for you to panic swipe. There's no reason for you to swipe unless you're the one thinking that, if you know for a fact that he's gonna attack you, then go ahead by all means. But like, if you already listened through all the commentary that I already mentioned about key canceling into a strike, just do that. But there's no reason for you to swipe, my friend. Just, your opponent wants you to do that. This game is about mind tricks as well. Just keep that in mind, because once you panic swipe and he knows that you're gonna do it again, or if he just times it really well, you're gonna get punished for just swiping for no reason. It's always best, like I said, to follow up with a strike card, just in case he decides to be patient and wait for your mistake, and it shouldn't be. And this, as far as key blast canceling, or just key blasting in general, yeah, just don't ever do this again. Just don't. It's not impossible to dodge, but nobody's gonna do this now. You shouldn't be like this. You should not. Yeah, this just makes me cringe. Like, just don't do that. Just follow up a key canceling. It's just a better option. It's like more of a higher percentage for you to actually dodge your opponent's attack. So that wraps up today's video, guys, on key canceling. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you guys also learned a thing or two. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and you know what, tell your friends about this video too. Tell people that you know that don't know how to key cancel or want to learn more. Send them this way. Feel free to inbox me if you have any specific questions that you thought I didn't cover, or if you want me to just elaborate on certain details that you want me to just go over again if things weren't clear. Whatever the case is, I will make sure to inbox each and every single one of you, whoever has any questions or just wants to give me a compliment, because this video is obviously very long and I put a lot of time and effort for it, and this is for you. I want you all to learn. I want you all to get to the rank you all deserve, and I want you all to have fun, right? So let's adapt. Let's get this RP. Let's get this rank. So see you guys later. Have a good day.